One. Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Ones Canes podcast. The man sitting next to me virtually is Cam Underwood. He is managing editor of the best Canes website there is, stateoftheu.com. Go check it out. You can follow Cam at Underwood Sports. I'm Brian the Beast London. You can follow me at Miami Radio Beast. Cam, we are just more than a week. I laughed. For those of you not watching, the reason why I laughed is because we never know which way to point, because who knows which way it goes up on YouTube as to if I'm to the right or to the left or what have you. But the dogs don't like that. We are more than a week, just about a week plus a day away from the University of Miami's first round playoff game with Texas A&M in College Station, and we will do a thorough preview of that game next week. But we do have plenty of topics to get to. There's a lot going on in college football besides in Miami Hurricanes land. But I think we should start with a story that I think is a nice feel-good. And I finally saw the video of this moment this morning, but you got to write an article on it. You got the heads up. The number one player in the country, the Gatorade National Player of the Year, who is also a soon-to-be University of Miami stud offensive lineman, is Jackson Cantwell.
Yeah, man. Hello and welcome to everybody. Yeah, really incredible for Jackson Cantwell to win the Gatorade National Player of the Year award. Got tipped to that about a week ago ahead of the announcement, under, penalty of NDA and embargo and everything. So I couldn't even tell Brian and people, I was just like.
Although it's funny, I'm pretty sure, and I think I texted this to you, in one of the several thousand interviews that Mario Cristobal did with the several different, I think he said in passing, like, we got the National Player of the Year coming in offensive line. And I was like, wait, what? So I
maybe that was their thing. I know that he's, two-time Missouri Gatorade Player of the Year, or maybe Mario let the cat out of the bag. If he did, I missed that detail on other things. But yeah, super cool. Had the opportunity, along with a lot of other outlets and things to have. So it was an exclusive for me, but not exclusive overall. So it was a 1-on-2 conversation with Jackson Cantwell and Joe Thomas and everything. I didn't have access to like this StreamYard thing, so I didn't record it for the show. I transcribed.
You should have told me. I would have told you. I would have set you up.
I didn't. Well, actually, and it was a whole thing because whatever. Anyways,
yes.
But yeah, so I got to Zoom with them and everything, and it was really, really cool, man. So at first it was pitched to me that I was like, okay, is this a one-on-one or is this like everybody, like media together? Because I try to fall back to let professional journalists do their job. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a blogger. This is fun, but like, that's their job. And they were like, no, this is a one-on-one, like whatever. And it was pitched to me that I was going to be talking to Jackson, and then Joe was going to come in and they were going to do the whole thing. But that's not what happened. They did it differently. It was really kind of a funny story. Jackson was like, yeah, we were going to go do something at the elementary school. And they're like, oh, the bus to go over there or whatever is not working. So we're going to go over, to the practice facility or something, or towards the gym. And then I went down I was going to go over through the normal door. And he was like, no, that door doesn't work. And he was like, the door worked yesterday. But okay. And then I'm in the hallway I'd never been to anything. And I pop in and there's like hundreds of people and a whole bunch of cameras looking at me. And you're like, whoa, what's going on? Then Joe Thomas, was able to give him that. And that's just really, really an awesome honor for him. He told me that he had done the math the night before, 502 career pancakes in high school, flattening blocks. As I was looking up and preparing the kind of newser piece for this, Jackson Cantwell is a 4-time Max Preps All-American. Freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. There's only a couple of other kids on there. I didn't take the full list because I don't really care about the other kids because they're not coming here. But yeah, one of very few players to ever be a first-team high school All-American for all 4 years. He was actually a finalist for Gatorade National Player of the Year last year as a junior, which shows the immense talent that we're talking about. And then to win that award, I had to be the bearer of bad news. He said that he was the first one ever. Unfortunately, that's not true. Andrew Brown, who went to Virginia. There's 4. I thought he was 3rd.
Oh, no, sorry. I thought you were going in a different direction. I held up 4 because I thought you were going to say something. But you do you, and then I'll get my stat of the day in there.
Okay, cool. So yeah, my stat of the day is I had to pop their balloon a little bit. Jackson Canwell's the 3rd lineman ever to win Gatorade National Player of the Year. Andrew Brown, who played both ways and then went to Virginia before being a 5th-round draft pick, was the 2nd one. The first one is a gentleman, Jeff Byers, I believe his name was, from Colorado, who ended up playing at USC in 2003, was the first lineman and offensive lineman to win the award. So Jackson Cantwell, and because Andrew Brown played defense, Jackson Cantwell was the 2nd pure offensive lineman to ever win the award. But the first one, and he told me, he was like, yeah, I went through like the 2010s and I didn't see anything. So I didn't think that they had done it. But I was like, you gotta go back a little bit further. But it was before he was born. So I'll give him some credit. So that was my little stat. But it was still, I mean, regardless, it's still rare air. And if you look at the people who have won the Gatorade National Player of the Year, incredible.
I have the list up, and I was going to throw some names out there in a second. But where can people go if they want to see that interview and get all your coverage of that whole situation?
I mean, stateoftheu.com. They cannot see it because it wasn't the way that I did mine was not for video presentation. Unfortunately, I did not have that foresight, which is completely on me, and I'm so sorry. So I did not put it. But on stateofview.com, there's the announcement piece, and then there's also the interview that I did with Joe and Jackson, and found out a couple cool facts about both of them. Got a little bit of an insight about where Jackson might play in college. There's a tease for you.
Ooh, nice.
Joe Thomas what Jackson's superpower was, and he gave me a really great answer on that. And another couple of tidbits in there that I found very interesting. So check all of that out on stateofview.com. I'm usually not Mr. Clickbait, but I was really, really proud to be part of the cadre, the small group of people who were able to interview Jackson for that and to interact with that. So that's my pride speaking. So please go and look at that interview because I'm proud of it.
Yeah, that's a great job, Cam. I admire your work. You hustle so hard to do the work that you do, and you do a great job doing it. Go check out stateoftheu.com. Gatorade National Player of the Year. Just some of the names that you might know who have been Gatorade National Player of the Year in football. Let's see. The likes of, I think Jeff George was the first one.
1985.
Emmett Smith, former Miami Dolphin Terry Kirby, Robert Smith, let's see, Peyton Manning, Tim Couch, Travis Minor, FSU. Let's see. I'm skipping a couple names for a reason. Joe Mauer ended up playing baseball. Let's see. Matt Barkley. Kyler Murray. He was pretty good. JT Daniels, Jackson Dart. So you get the DJ Lagwin. But here's the ones I want to mention. And I'm sure you put this in the article, Cam, or maybe you didn't. How many Gatorade National Players of the Year have played for the University of Miami?
I thought 3. You put up a 4, so I might have missed one.
Well, it's kind of a 3.5. So
but
they
Jackson
are.
Cantwell. Sorry, I'll let you know. You got it. Where's that? Go ahead.
Jackson Cantwell, I didn't count him because he's going to play for the University of Miami. So
right.
The first one was Chris Walsh, who was a quarterback that did not pan out at the University of Miami. He ended up going to Minnesota. So Chris Walsh. Then the one that did pan out got to Miami via Florida, Brock Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback from Danville, California, Kyle Wright. And one that didn't last long at the University of Miami, but boy, did he have the hype. Tate Martell.
Oh, yeah. So I put the 3 because Kyle Wright played here, like recruited here, played here. And then I mentioned Brock Berlin and Tathan Martell for transferring in. To be perfectly honest, Chris Walsh was before my time as a Miami Hurricanes fan, and that name didn't connect with me, and I didn't really look into it. So I didn't even put that there.
Chris Walsh. I mean, this was back when I was in high school, and I was uber Miami Hurricanes fan, and I remember getting a periodical in the mail that I used to like subscribe to, like actual like college recruiting newspapers and all this stuff. And I remember hearing about Chris Walsh, this quarterback from Minnesota. I think he's actually Steve Walsh's brother. I'm pretty sure that Chris Walsh is Steve Walsh's brother. Okay. I remember like, okay, legacy, here we go. Steve Walsh was amazing, right? Like, is now playing for the Dallas Cowboys at the time. Like, this is amazing. Like, I can't wait for Chris Walsh. And then, he didn't do anything.
Okay.
So that was one of those situations. But yeah, so University of Miami's got some of these, but I think Jackson Cantwell could end up being the most impactful Gatorade National Player of the Year that comes to the University of Miami. Listen, Brock Berlin was amazing and did a great job after transferring in from Florida. But Jackson Cantwell may take this thing to another level. I'm excited about it.
No, absolutely. I agree with that. He's wise beyond his years. He's a young kid for his grade. He turns 18 in May, I believe it is. So his birthday's late in the cycle. But, I mean, he's on age for, he'll be 18 before he plays his first college snap. So there's no Malachi Tony kind of young. But, yeah, he's really articulate. He's really mature and well-spoken, and just a dynamic athlete too, by the way. Look, to be a finalist for National Player of the Year as a junior, as an offensive lineman, like, the stupid numbers that people put up in the world of high school football. And they're like, yeah, cool. This dude, you know what I mean? And yeah, first team All-American every single year in high school. Crazy. So yeah, I'm very excited. Congratulations to Jackson. He's the prototype. This is why you bring in Mario Cristobal to get these kind of players, because with all due respect to Manny Diaz, who won an ACC championship at Duke this year and still found a way to lose 5 games, Jackson Cantwell is not a Miami Hurricane if Manny Diaz is our coach. So I just want to throw that out there. If that's throwing him under the bus or a drive-by sniping or whatever you want to call it, cool. But facts are facts. But yeah, getting the player of this caliber, especially at this position, this is why you did what you did to bring in Mario Cristobal. So yeah, congratulations to everybody. This is awesome.
All right, let's switch focus for 1 second. It is portal season as well as playoff season.
Nearly.
Now, I don't want to really dive into the portal stuff yet, unless I have to. Yeah. But for this one, we kind of have to, because a University of Miami player has announced they will be going into the portal. Uncle Luke is all up in arms. I know. It is Ray Joseph. And when I saw that he is going to the portal, I said to myself, well, sky is blue, water is wet. We all kind of saw this one coming.
Sun rises in the east and sets in the west, right?
Yeah. As far
humans
as I know,
respirate oxygen gas. Like, what are we?
I really had hopes, and I think you're gonna agree with me, that Ray Joseph would be the return guy, right? Like the guy that could bring us speed in the return game. If he wasn't gonna find a way onto the receiving core, but that didn't pan out for him.
Yeah, I thought that coming into college, my honest thought was maybe about 60% of what we've gotten from Malachi Tony this year in terms of receiving and returning. That was where I was looking for Ray Joseph. And then if you could have explosive plays in those roles, cool. But, seats taken, buddy. You know what I mean? Like I wrote this in the recruiting rules, and this is just the mentality that I have, about roster construction. It is the job of the staff to recruit over the players who are on the roster already. it is incumbent on the players on the roster to do the work to develop so that the new players stay behind them. Clearly, Mario and them recruited over Ray Joseph, and he was damn sure not able to keep Malachi Tony off the field. And if you're like, well, why would he go? Slot receiver, which is Ray's superpower, if there is one on the field, seats taken, number 10, bye. Returner, seats taken, bye. Like, it is what it is. And I get Uncle Luke, Luther Campbell wants to be mad because, like, Luke has coached, he's youth league coach. He was involved over at Miami Edison, down there, down in Overtown, where Ray Joseph went to high school. So he's known Ray a long time from Optimist and from high school and yada, yada, yada. I get it. It didn't work out for your man. Things happen, bro.
Yeah. Listen, we wish him good luck. Like, I hope he finds I hope he finds a space and rises to the occasion and meets, the talent level that we think he might have. It happens in college football. And like you said, you cannot blame the coaching staff for trying to improve the team every recruiting cycle.
And they didn't do anything malfeasant. Like,
no.
People are like, oh man, that's KB, Kevin Beard, the wide receivers coach. Man, he did that man dirty, and then did it. He had opportunities and he didn't make plays. And when we tried to recruit over Xavier Restrepo, which is what we did when we flipped Ray Joseph from Clemson, Mr. All-American, and he's all the highlights and all the returns. It was the same thing I just said. The goal was to recruit over a small, limitedly athletic kid at slot. And that kid busted his butt and kept Ray Joseph on the sideline. And then we got a new player who's better than both of them already as a true freshman. Dog, just because it doesn't work out doesn't mean that we did you wrong.
Listen to me. Tell me if I'm wrong. But the way we choose what players play on Saturday is not, hey, this guy was this star, this American, that American in recruiting. It's, what did you do for me this week on Green Tree? Did you prove yourself to be a starter? Did you prove yourself to be a role player? Did you prove yourself that you need playing time? Or did you not? And that's who we're going to play. Like, we don't just, like, the coaching staff doesn't just throw a guy into the game because they have a name or they have this many stars or they have this recruiting profile. That's not the way it works.
Right. Stars evaporate the moment that you sign, bro. Like, it's cool for us. It's cool for me because I love recruiting and I love writing about it. And, there's all the stuff, and the statistics because I'm a data nerd. So I love those things.
No, wait. You're just a nerd, not just a data nerd.
Well, I was giving a little bit of specificity to my nerd because I have specific things where I am a nerd and other things where I am not. So data being one of them, music being another one of them, video games being another one of them. But I was giving a little specificity for people. Anyways, like I was saying, they evaporate the moment that you sign, right? Like, you got to go earn your stuff. And honestly, it's a nebulous concept anyway, because if we're going on what we actually should have been, and everybody in the world of recruiting has admitted that they were wrong about this. Ruben Bain should have been a 5-star out of high school.
Oh, without a doubt.
And we were all screaming it at the time. And you see the player that he is and has been.
By the way, that On3 All-American list where Ruben Bain is not a first-team All-American according to On3, like, GTFOH, please.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
exactly.
And I get it that there's a measure of, again, there are the stat watchers, a little bit of, like,
right.
Well, he didn't have 14 and a half sacks. Like,
go watch the film. Go watch the damn film.
I hear you. Trust me, you are preaching literally to the choir. But yeah, man, it's just like, but all the accolades and everything, those are cool. Those are great. The moment that you sign it don't mean a damn thing. It's a good narrative story. You can have your medals and you can go to whatever frat party or wherever on campus and, connect with whomever you are into of whatever ilk. Fine. hey man, I was All-American in high school, person who I'm into. Why don't you, let's go watch my highlights, while we make, whatever. Let me stop there. Anyways, but you got to go earn it on Green Tree, right? There's many players who have been All-Americans, like Ray Joseph, who didn't earn it on Green Tree. Gerard Pringle was like a second-team Max Preps All-American, but he didn't play, I don't think, in the Under Armour or the Navy, used to be Army, now Navy All-American game or anything. But what did he do? He went out there every week and he hooped. He was Scout Team Player of the Week every week. And then he got in the game and he was Scout Team Player of the Week and in the game, like senior level Player of the Week in the interscholastic game that we played at Hard Rock Stadium. Like, if you don't earn it, then you don't have it. And hey, I get, look, if you wanted to rely on your seniority relative to a 17-year-old who came in the spring, that's a choice that you can make. And life is about choices. And that choice got you to where you are. And his talent, unfortunately, usurped you on this roster. Again, I have no ill will towards Ray Joseph. I wish him the absolute best. But miss me with the conspiracy theories. Miss me with the thought that Miami intentionally did Ray Joseph wrong. And miss me with the statement, and I heard this from many people, that Luther Campbell, in being vindictive for feeling that his player, a player that he knew was done wrong, will single-handedly have Mario Cristobal and the entire staff of the University of Miami at every single level blackballed from every single black school in Florida, or especially Miami. Miss me with that. Because I had many a person tell me that, and shenanigans, absolute malarkey, baloney, and you can fill in the actual four-letter words for all of that. That is categorically false. No, absolutely not. And if Luke wants to get involved and say, well, I'm very closely related to or connected with this player, and so I'm not going to talk to the University of Miami or let them talk to this player, then he has that individual right in Providence. But to say, oh, yeah, all of the black people everywhere, like, just how stupid does that sound when you make a blanket statement of anything of that nature? If you're telling me that on social media, which several people have, you're stupid and you sound dumb. And I don't want to hear it anymore. Thanks.
All right, that puts a bow on that one. Playoff prep continues down in the Gables. Last week, they were doing a bunch of conditioning, stay in shape, all this stuff. This week, they are got to jump on getting ready for Texas A&M. We'll talk about that in next week's show. But I do want to get into something that's become quite the thing in Hurricanes Nation, which is no one can get tickets because it's 108,000 seat stadium or something, and only 3,500 tickets are allotted to the away team. And that is not because of Texas A&M. That is due to the college football playoff. The CFP controls the ticket allotment, and they make the money off of the tickets. The home team makes the money off of the parking, the concessions, all the other stuff that happens. I don't understand how in this, like, what are we doing? Only giving 3,500 tickets to the opposing team. Like, what? I understand the home team should get the majority of tickets. Absolutely. That's why you get the home playoff game. That's what you play for. I get that, but only 3,500 tickets, and it's crazy. Like, the secondary market is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's fewer tickets for a playoff game than a normal game, for the road team. Right. I just looked it up as you were saying that Kyle Field capacity officially is 102,733 individuals. And I'm sure you get standing room. You can get,
they fit.
Yeah, you can fit plenty more. Yeah, it's crazy. By the way,
Kyle Field record attendance for a football game is 110,633.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, less than 10%. I mean, not even like 1
it's
to
3%.
Yeah, just crazy. Oh, cool. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Yeah. Oh, you can hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I live in an apartment, and my neighbor is doing something in one of their rooms on the other side of that wall, apparently.
Tell them to take their hammer and get rid of it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just a very small number of tickets, and hopefully the people who want to go are able to go. And I'm going to stop talking.
The hammer is beating Cam down. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And another thing, I saw Colin McCarthy on Twitter being upset that he couldn't get tickets. Listen, Dan Radakovich, Mario Cristobal, can we do a favor? Like, if former players want to go to the playoff game and support our team, can we figure that out somehow, some way, shape, or form? Like, I mean, whether you have to, whether you give them the opportunity to buy tickets, you call them team personnel, they're on the sideline, whatever it takes. Can we make sure our former players are there to support our team, please? Somehow.
I mean, and just as many people as possible. Yeah, the secondary market, of course, people buy them up to sell them and make a profit, and that prices out a lot of people, from being able to go and everything. But yeah, it should be. I don't know. It is what it is, and yeah, it's at the behest of the college football playoff because they set the allocations and everything. I get giving a smaller allocation to the away team, but maybe not that small, because if you don't sell them, then the home team will buy them. You know what I mean? Like, if you give Miami 10,000, let's just say, just 10,000. If they don't sell all 10,000, I trust and believe the remainder of the tickets will be sold to the Texas A&M fans, even if it's day of, even if it's day before. But I just think that this is really reactive to last year's playoffs, especially like SMU Penn State. They had a very low allocation. And remember, one of the major issues, because State College, Pennsylvania is in the middle of nowhere, bro.
Right.
That a lot of the big money SMU people, have their own private jets or they chartered one. But the State College airstrip is so small that they had to divert people because they said, we're full. There's no room to land and store a plane until that. So now you got to fly to Philly and then get a car service or whatever. And that was a major thing. So it looked, their stands were not as full as they could have been because the people who bought the tickets to go fly in on Sunday or Saturday morning and they weren't able to do that. And I know that that's a one-off situation, but just to have that be the foundation for the logic just doesn't make sense. And I get an argument. The last thing I'll say is there is an argument to give a smaller allocation to your group of 5 teams because they're going to get their doors blown off and everybody knows it. But also maybe not because this is a once in a lifetime thing.
Right. Exactly.
TCU made a national championship game. Yeah, they got their doors blown off, but when's the next time that's going to happen? Quarter to never. You know what I mean? When is Tulane going to make the playoff again? When is James freaking Madison going to make the playoff again? Probably quarter to never. So they're going to buy up a lot of these tickets. So I don't know. It's just
worst.
I do see both sides, but I don't like it.
Worst seat in the house right now at Kyle Field, literally 400 level back row. The game is a rumor from your seat. Is $400 on the secondary market. If you want a lower level seat in the 100 levels, you're looking. The worst seat there is like $850. Most of the seats are way over $1,000, and a lot of them are at $2,000 plus. So good luck if you want to. If you got that kind of guap, feel free. But home. Someone asked me hey, you're going to cover the game, and it's like, listen, man, I gotta save my travel dollars. So I will go if we make it to the Fiesta Bowl, which would be the 3rd round.
Okay. Semifinals. Got it.
If we make it to Phoenix, I will. That's where I will be to try to get retribution for what happened in 2002.
But I mean, we will have already gotten retribution for that.
Well, against
that team,
against Ohio State, but yes,
yeah.
We've had bad experiences in Arizona.
Indeed, we have.
So I would like to overturn that. So I will be there for that. All right, and just another thing. So we do have a Real Ones Canes podcast TikTok account. It's at Real Ones Canes podcast on TikTok. Now it's just been me posting my hot takes. Because I haven't wanted to bother Cam with getting set up on the TikTok because he's been writing recruiting stories and all this other stuff. Eventually, maybe I'll convince him to get on there and give hot takes every once in a while. But we do have a TikTok page. It's doing very well. It is picking up steam. And I posted a video yesterday, the day before, where I talked about this 3,500 tickets. Now, did I maybe insinuate that Texas A&M wasn't doing right by the University of Miami? Maybe. But what I did was poke the bear. And I have 8 billion people in the mentions going, just gig them, because that's what A&M fans do. Listen, I've got all the love in the world for the Aggies. I've been to Kyle Field for a game. It's amazing. It's loud. The 12th man is real. The yells, all the pageantry, the core, all that stuff, all the respect in the world. Bro, Texas A&M fans, listen. You last won a national championship in football. You want to guess, Cam? Do you want to guess the year that Texas A&M last won a national championship in football?
I don't. It's not any time past 1950.
That is correct.
I know.
1939.
Oh, wow.
1939 is the last time you won a title. You have no right to be obnoxious. Please stop.
See, but the thing about it is, since they haven't won a championship, they've grown obnoxious. They've just banded together, right? So we can't necessarily beat our chests because of performance. So we're just going to lean into this connection. I'm not going to say the word that you put in the chat. It is a very particular kind of collection of individuals who share a common viewpoint together with certain rituals that might be looked at questionably by people who are not of that group, me being one of them. So yeah, maybe that's that. And then they just have to defend their good name at everything. And, you know, they have yell practice the day before the games. So this is the practice before yell practice. You know how like Malachi Tony goes and watches film and catches passes before practice, like working on his craft before he actually works on his craft, before he actually goes to display that craft to everybody. Right. This is that for them. This is their, they're watching their film, they're getting their reps in, they're just yelling at you, buddy. Yeehaw.
Yeah, I won't use that word either, although I'm thinking, never mind. I'm not going to mention what I was going to mention because it would get us in all sorts of trouble, and we don't need that. So, yeah, listen, Aggie fans, love you, but just calm down. Just calm down. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Just chill, okay? Just chill. All right, we're going to take a break. On the other side, there's some big stuff going on in college football we have to get to. Whether it's the Notre Dame Athletic Director making a fool out of himself, in my humble opinion, and what's going on at Michigan, and all sorts of other stuff. We will do that on the other side. You're listening and watching the Real Ones Canes podcast. Welcome back. It's the Real Ones Canes podcast. He is Cam Underwood. He's managing editor, State of the U. He's somewhere that way. I don't know where he is, but he's here virtually, sitting right next to me. You can follow Cam at Underwood Sports. He's the manager and editor of the State of the U, stateoftheu.com. It is the best website to go see all of your Miami Hurricanes coverage. You know what? Let me throw it on the screen for everyone to see. There is the State of the U right there, stateoftheu.com. Go check it out. As he told you in the first segment, great interview with Joe Thomas and Jackson Canwell about Jackson being the Gatorade National Player of the Year. Ken, what else do we got at stateoftheu.com right now?
Justin Perez, our new basketball contributor, he's done a couple early season evaluations of both men's and now women's basketball. You can check those out. Tyler Brook, who I believe is an SB Nation draft guy, put up his YouTube video. 2 Miami players make the top 10 of his NFL draft board in the feed, which is a lot of interactions recently. You'd love to see that. Our first of 2 film forecasts for the playoff game, my interview with Jackson Cantwell, the news piece on that. This week's Dear JD with Justin DeTavio. Is it safe to drink Irish tears? And then story streams both for signing day and the playoffs because, they kind of happen close together. So both those story streams and plenty more stuff all here, stateoftheu.com. Please confan with us. We try to do a great job for you guys. And
I think you do.
Yeah.
I think you do a great job.
Thank you.
I think you do. Let's talk about those Notre Dame tears because if you're not watching, I'm holding my head because I'm done with Pete Bevacqua, their AD. I'm just done. Like, listen, we could spend hours and hours to talk about the ridiculousnly that is Notre Dame, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm independent. I think I'm the best ever, despite having not won a national championship in a long time. And it's just like, it's nauseating. They literally do believe they're holier than thou. And I get it. There was a time, like my dad growing up in Massachusetts in the 50s, 60s, 70s, became a Notre Dame fan. He wasn't Catholic, obviously. And the only reason why I became a Notre Dame fan, they were the only school on national TV, because back in the 40s, they reeled off 1 billion championships. And so as TV came to the forefront, what program are you going to put on? That one. Okay. Well, you know what? We're not in the 50s, 60s, or 70s anymore, or even the 80s. We don't have Lou Holtz there. Listen, do they have a great national profile? Sure. And they've been a great program. But like, they're not any better than any other great program. There's nothing special about Notre Dame that makes them better than the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Ohio States, and I go on and on and on and on.
Then
Miami. Then, yes, I was purposely leaving us out because I didn't want to start something, but fine. It's just nauseating. He's been on a media tour, and this stupid relationship they have with the ACC, where they're in every sport but not in football, and blah 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 blah. I'm just done with them. Pete Bevacqua can get off my television, get off my computer screen, just go away, please.
Yeah, it was really poor form from them, really just screaming like over entitled, petulant children. Just the embodiment of Veruca salt from Willy Wonka. Just crying and complaining. The only and exclusive point that I will agree with Bevacqua is that I understand Notre Dame feeling manipulated by the college football playoff rankings, because the point of comparison of head-to-head always existed through the entire rankings process. And the CFP committee said that they weren't going to, they hinted that they were not going to use that to disqualify Notre Dame until they did. And so it's a issue with the process, not necessarily even the result. On that point, I agree, because I thought that the process was very flawed. I said that on here and website and everywhere else. But that's the only point that I agree with. Everything else, just absolute childish, juvenile stuff, man. And yeah, just to say, and then, you make a decision and statements in emotion. The relationship with the ACC has been, harmed and damaged, and we're going to da-da-da. And then you call this press conference for the, next day, and then ask directly about it. So you said that the relationship's damaged. What you going to do? Well, I don't know. And then I'm like, yeah, because you're not talking through the cloud of your anger and emotion. And I say this as someone who has had anger management issues, and twice as a child had anger management therapy. Not from like juvenile system, but because my family wanted me to be able to deal with my emotions. So I say that. So I see and I understand how he was talking through his anger, and let that anger manifest the words of his mouth, and just absolute shenanigans. The last thing on this, there is no sense, and I can't make sense out of nonsense, but it made no sense to then say we are opting out of playing in any bowl game for the express purpose of delivering a national championship to South Bend in 2026. When with a bowl game, you get 12 to 15 extra practices in another game for player development. So all of your returning players, your quarterback, who I think can be pretty good, these sophomores, the juniors who are coming back, because every junior's not going to the league, these freshmen who might have not even played, but they could use all of these extra instances for just time on the field to help you towards that goal, right? And you say, no, we're taking our ball, we're going home, we're done. Well, we didn't know that our season ended, at the last. Your season didn't end in Stanford. It did not. It ended when you acted like a goddamn child. And it was infuriating. It was so, just poor form. And I love to see Brett Yormark, the Big 12 commissioner, lambaste Bevacqua and call him out for it. And he said, and at the end of what he said, he was like, basically, it was baloney, malarkey, and I didn't say anything that I wouldn't say to his face if he was in the room, which is, who gonna check me, boo? Because if you want to try it, come try it.
Two things. One, you made the Veruca salt comparison, and now all I can think about is Pete Bevacqua getting up to the podium and going, Daddy, I want an Oompa Loompa, and I want one now.
I want the world. I want the whole world. I want to lock it right up in my pocket. It's my ball of chocolate, and now, yes.
I'm glad we got a free Cam Underwood performance.
It's my absolute favorite movie of all time, the 1973 Willy Wonka, the original. I've not seen any
all the ones that have come after have sucked. Anyways,
the original.
Yes, I agree with you. And the other thing I was thinking about is all these stories that are coming out. Well, conferences are not going to schedule Notre Dame and blah blah blah. It's great, but let's be honest. Can we be honest for a moment?
Sure.
What happens when Notre Dame comes to town? What sells? Is it tickets?
Everything.
Yeah, everything. So
everything. Yeah.
And we know how the sport works. It's money, man.
Right.
Like money drives the whole thing.
Right. But also, if you're trying to hold yourself above the sport, then maybe we don't need to have you as part of the sport. And I love the fact where if they're taking this hardline stance, right? And that was why Bevacqua started to walk it back, because his original, after they got left out, comments, and again, I believe they should have been in instead of Notre Dame. It should have been both Miami and Notre Dame. And
I agree with you. Instead of Alabama. Yeah.
But hey, whatever, right? But he started to go scorched earth. He didn't go full scorched earth, but like they were going in that way. And especially when he said, oh, well, and he targeted the ACC specifically and said, oh, well, and I said, oh, buddy, you're not going to want to do that. Because, and then the other conference is saying, well, why are we giving them all of this stuff? And they get to keep 100% of all of their revenue from tickets and from television because they, have this deal dating back to 1912 with NBC or whatever, So why are we enabling them to be able to do, so when he stepped on a lot of toes hard. And I'm sure that the money, because he even said, well, there's people higher up than me at the University of Notre Dame, and they feel the same way. Those people higher up at Notre Dame also called him into the office and said, hey, buddy, next time, like fiercely advocating for our institution, yes. But I think that you took it measures too far, and especially with what we're hearing from so you need to walk that back. And I'm not saying that you need to just completely genuflect and just all of a sudden abdicate what you said and say, oh my God, like I love everybody. But you need to start walking that back because it started to get to scorched earth in a way that is unsustainable. And he did do that. But yeah, I would love it. Look, if you want to be independent, play the independents then. Oh, so you only have games against UConn? And I think maybe UMass, but not even UMass. So yeah, fine. Do not benefit from the ACC partnership where half of your schedule is already given to you. So you don't have to work. Fine, cool. That's all right. Make individual deals and know that what you have done and said will inhibit conferences from wanting their teams or letting their teams talk to you. Good luck and Godspeed. And that's why he had to do a little bit of a mea culpa, which was good to see because, they needed to be checked for sure.
Last topic I want to get into is this debacle at Michigan. A
Lord God,
terrible situation. Sharon Moore, the former coach of Michigan, has now been fired. Had an affair with the staffer. Did not hide it well. Now that all the video and pictures are coming out, and also the publicly available salary raise that she got. Of like $30,000 in a year, an extra 30. So listen, a terrible situation. There's all sorts of reports. You can go find them. He's actually due in court as we record this Friday afternoon. He's due in court very shortly. So that's that. Listen, whatever. I just was going to say this, like, because we tend to do this in sports, where let's talk about the games, let's talk about the coaching search, let's talk about that, and not about the actual impact of the news situation and impact of what actually happened. Listen, no one is condoning the affair, no one is condoning all that, but he definitely was in a bad place, and I hope he gets the help he needs. I hope his family recovers from this, and I thank God no one was hurt. That's the bottom line on that one. But but here we are with a huge job in the world of college sports open after all of the hires have been made. So now it becomes really interesting about where the University of Michigan goes.
Well, as a native Detroiter.
Right. This is why I come to you with this.
My uncle went to the University of Michigan. I have many, many, many friends who went to the University of Michigan. I mean, I'm from Detroit, you know what I mean? Another just dark scandal, unfortunately, involving a black man in power. If you don't know anything about Kwame Kilpatrick, the former mayor of the city of Detroit.
Yeah, yep.
Enjoy that, Google. It's just bad, and not to just continue to play the race card. They're never going to hire another black coach at the University of Michigan. He was the first, and he will be the last. I did not think that Sharon Moore was long for that job when he got the job, because you're largely not going to have sustained success being the guy who replaces a legend. And regardless of what you think of Jim Harbaugh, he is a legend.
Yeah.
He played there. He came back to Ann Arbor. He rebuilt that program to win a national championship.
Yep.
Again, to have Michigan be Michigan, which means something, the victors, the winners, the winners and best, the all-time winningest program in the history of college football. That meant something. And just for the fact that Sharon Moore was following a legend, I didn't think he was long for that job. And I just didn't think that he had the range for that job on the field for performance reasons.
You never want to be the guy that follows the guy. You always want to be the guy that follows the guy that follows the guy.
Right. And that was where that came from. Looking into it a little bit, there are many people who had tweeted out, players were making fun of this early, before spring ball in 24. You know what I mean?
There's a whole nother thing that may happen here, which is Ward Manuel, who is the athletic director there, reportedly, according to reports, again, I don't know, I don't have my own sources on this, knew about this and did not, despite the fact that it's contractually, a automatic termination, did not go forward with that until after the season.
I'll put it to you like this. The first time that I heard something about this was around Halloween, that Sharon Moore was going to be fired for cause. First time I heard something, me, myself personally.
Month and a half ago.
And I do not, did I say Thanksgiving? No, Halloween, 2 months ago.
Well, it's
the 12th. So yeah, but yeah.
A month and a half.
Right. And I do not purport to be, reporting breaking news or anything. I've always said, I'm a blogger, I'm a fan, I have great ideas and I will do those things. And I'll report, if I see something, when we go to the games, I'm I'm reporting that I see that, what this player is not, warming up or something. But I'm not saying that I'm the world's largest insider. But that being said, if I heard this around Halloween, when were other people hearing this? Because I know I wasn't on the first group of people who did. And seeing many people in who work in and around Ann Arbor being oh yeah, players were making fun of coach nailing the assistant, because she was the executive or special assistant to the head coach, by the way.
Right.
So, something out of a rom-com, with the guy, the leader and the secretary. But it was players were joking about that from spring of 24. Even like Michigan players, because like she's a round thing, you know what I mean? And it, just really a bad look. I mean, terrible decision making. On top of that, the other thing I just want to say is I am very hopeful that he gets whatever mental health services that he needs.
Yeah.
If you read when Brian mentioned all he's due in court because he was arrested because allegedly he threatened harm and violence to both his wife and then to this young lady with whom he had the affair, the assistant young lady who's picturing, excuse me, I don't want to put her name. Well, I don't remember her name, but the blonde young lady,
yes.
And everything. So left from his home, went over to her abode, and then there was actually a 911 call that came out. It was, somebody was reporting that, he was there and there were multiple knives per the call that I heard on social, that was posted on social media, and like they were concerned. So like you're talking about that, and then there's another reporter from Channel 7 in Detroit. I forget her name, but she did an on-air report saying, well, it was known in Ann Arbor and told to Ward Manuel that Sharon Moore was suffering from a mental health crisis. And with that being known, Ward Manuel still fired him for cause in a one-on-one meeting without HR, without security, without any other guardrails or supports. So lots of things going on. Really just a bad situation. It is another black eye on the University of Michigan, and all of these recent scandals have been under the leadership of Ward Manuel. It is hard for me to believe that Ward Manuel is going to be able to continue in his leadership role over athletics at the University of Michigan, in spite of widespread success. Like their basketball team is arguably the best in the country. They're blowing everybody out. They have the non-rev sports.
Yeah, it's one of the top athletic programs in the country, no doubt.
Gymnastics, like everything. Yeah. Even baseball's doing really well recently. Hockey, all different kind of things. But that being said, you continue to have your program or the component programs of your department with major scandals and issues. Yeah, you have to go, buddy.
So just real quick, the names that are being mentioned for Michigan: Tommy Rees seems to be the leader in the clubhouse, former Notre Dame quarterback, which is ironic, but he's never been a head coach. The guy who I threw out there as soon as this happened was Jesse Minter, who is the defensive coordinator in LA, was on the Michigan staff, played at Michigan. They're talking about our old friend Jed Fish as being out there. And the interesting name that keeps coming up for jobs is Kalen DeBoer. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that he has a team in the playoffs, like why would he want to leave?
That's the job. He actually wanted that job.
I get it, but like
reports when they hired Moore, and I think he fits more at Michigan. His general manager, Courtney Morgan, who helps build the team, he helped build that championship team at Michigan. He played at Michigan, did Courtney Morgan. And it's not even about the success at Alabama. It's them people are crazy. And remember what I just said about being the guy who follows the guy.
Yeah.
He's following Saban there. Like Alabama is the most unrealistic expectations job in the sport by far.
Well, yeah, it was for a long time after their heyday, and then they won another championship. I don't want to talk about George Teague and Lamar Thomas. Right. And then it was down for a while, but then Nick Saban made it in behemoth, and now
right, but the expectations were still there. Dennis Franchione won 10 games, and he said, "Yo, I'm up out of here because these people are crazy."
Yeah,
like that's what it is. Like it's not even the fact that you cannot win there, because you very much can, but it is a pressure cooker unlike any other. I'll tell you like this here, and I really this is a thing that I thought independently, but then I heard many other people in media say this, and I think that like we're all on the right page. The reason that Lane Kiffin did not confirm for LSU was he was waiting to see what happened in that Iron Bowl, because if they would have lost to Auburn, DeBoer would have been fired, gone.
Yeah,
and then, hearing from the same person I heard about Sharon Moore, they're saying, well, they're hoping that happens because then they were going to fire him. Like the action that was taken this week against Sharon Moore, like firing him for a cause, that was going to have been moved up a couple weeks already. So DeBoer loses, gets fired. We handle this business, hang the sign stealing scandal, all the remaining parts and pieces on his head, get him out of here. Kalen DeBoer back there, like that was so. Yeah, it's really about getting away from Alabama because even 2 losses is like, that doesn't.
Listen to me right now. The way these contracts are these days with the severance packages, I would never quit a college football job. I would make them,
if you're getting another near 9-figure payday.
Well, yeah, but just in case, make them pay me.
I hear you, but yeah, just Alabama is just such a monster.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Such a monster. And like that's really why. And like he was very hurt that he did not get the job when they decided to go in-house to Sharon Moore. So I could very much see as tapping back into my Michigan roots, I would want Kalen DeBoer. I just think that he fits what Michigan wants to do in large ways, how they want to do it. But we'll see.
We will see. All right, that'll do it for this one. We will have plenty more to get to as it relates to the prep for the Miami Hurricanes as they get ready to play Texas A&M Kyle Field a week from just about now. And so we will do that next week. We will have all the coverage. Don't forget to go check out the stateoftheu.com, I should say, stateoftheu.com for all of your Miami Hurricanes football coverage. Go follow us on all the different social medias. You can follow Cam at Underwood Sports, follow me at Miami Radio B. Subscribe to the show wherever you're watching this or listening. Subscribe, tell your friends, share, like, comment. Go check out the TikTok at Real Ones Canes Podcast. And we will check you next time right here on the Real Ones Canes Podcast. Peace.
Bye, guys.